Well, in recent seasons, Welsh rugby hasn't seen too much success. Perhaps it's nature's balancing up process. We're merely paying now for the gifts the gods bestowed upon us in the crowning years. They were indeed heady days. Unfortunately, those days are captured on film for us to enjoy over and over again. And they're made even more pleasurable by the wonderful commentaries of Bill, and they'll be proud of him back in Hoyk, McLaren. These then are 5 great Welsh victories over England. I know, because I was there.
And David Watkins calls for Keith Jarrett to have his first shot at the post. It may carve in, and it's there.
Welsh forwards got across the front there. Edwards, back goes Starler Smith. Stuart Watkins tearing up, and it's a try for Barry John.
Helmy Thomas Barnes, Barry John trying the drop goal. It should be there.
Again back to Edwards. Bergier to John Bevan. Can Bevan score his 4th international try? Yes, he can. This was Ospenathley. Now, can he get the guts? Can Elgin Rees get there? It would be a remarkable try, and he's made it.
The first game happened way back in 1967, which explains the black and white film footage. It marked the debut of a young 90-year-old centre from Newport, Keith Jarrett. He had been controversially chosen out of position by the Welsh selectors, but his faith in him was rewarded by a remarkable performance by the 19-year-old in which he scored 19 points in his very first international for Wales, which equalled the then existing record. Surely this game will always be remembered as Jarrett's match.
And it seems that England have won the toss. It's David Watkins who's going to start this 72nd game between Wales and England. And so it's the Welsh captain, David Watkins, starting and doing a dummy run for a long kick by Billy Raybould. And my goodness, that caught the English by surprise right at the very start. Magnificent kick by Raybould. There's Billy Mainwaring in the middle there, jumping up and down. Brian Price goes up, Coolman goes in. And the English, of course, are a tremendously formidable scrummaging machine. But there Wales, taking a leaf out of the English book, getting in the first good shove, but having to come back to the mark. Gareth Edwards penalised for not straight, and it's a penalty to England. This is Roger Hosen. Nicely taken by Edwards, but the ball was just in touch, midway between the English 25 and halfway. And this is Keith Savage of Northampton. There's Brian Price, ready for the leap. Up he goes, beaten to it by Watt, and a great chance there, and it's almost a score, but the ball was knocked forward. There's Mainwaring, the big lock forward, who went over. And it looked like a heel against the head, but it wasn't. It came out between the prop's legs, and this is a good counter-attack led by Pickering. There's Bob Taylor hacking on over halfway. This is Jarrett. Hosen. Well, there was nothing wrong with Jarrett's bit of work there. Mainwaring, in goes the Welsh drive from both prop forwards. Good heel, Edwards, Watkins. This is Savage running for it with Bert. This is Savage. Gerald Davis tackles beautifully. Knocked on by Savage before he started the run. Gareth Edwards, the Welsh scrum half, who learned his rugby at Pontardawe Technical School and then went to Millfield, the Welsh secondary school's cap. A penalty against England, and David Watkins calls for Keith Jarrett to have his first shot at the post. It may curve in, and it's there. Well, that's the kind of luck young Keith Jarrett needs. Wales lead by 3 points to 0 after 10 minutes of the first half. And this young fellow has scored his first international point. There's Steve Richard on the left, the English hooker, and there's the man who's been brought back into the Welsh side alongside him, Norman Gale, number 2. Billy Mainwaring looked at Edwards to see where the ball's going to be thrown. Takes it, worked out by Denzel Williams. This is David Watkins, Gerald Davies. Again, Hosen having to run inside his own 25. Raybold's up on him. The referee will play advantage. But Wales didn't get the advantage right away. But this is a strong attacking position, just about 15 yards out from the English line. The situation, they want a quick clean heel here, and they certainly got it, but there's the English drive going in. Edwards to David Watkins, going to try the drop goal. It could be there. No, it's outside the right-hand post. England breathe again. And so it's England thoroughly up against it in those early stages as Hosen restarts. Caught by Raybold, and Raybold's going to try a drop goal. That's not so far away. It's there. Billy Raybold, first point for Wales in an international to put them ahead by 6 points to 0 with about 17 minutes of the first half gone. And the English forwards just not in the game at the moment, and Phil Judd there clapping his hands a bit to get a bit extra effort from them. Farm Pickering in trouble. Nicely out to Finland. There's the short kick through for McFadden. McFadden's up deep inside the Welsh 25. Herden robs Jarrett, picked up by Taylor, out to Finland, inside to Rogers. Rogers inside to Barton, and it's a great score for Barton. There's John Taylor, hands on hips. Budge Rogers playing in his 29th international. No scrum cap today for Budge Rogers. 2 men at the tail. And England caught offside. Savage getting in front of the ball when it was still in the line out. So it's Keith Jarrett. Came out coming up again. I'm quite sure he'll be looking for one to go between the posts this time. And obviously not going to be rushed into making a mistake with this kick. It's going to come in again. He's done it again, but this time not off the post. 2 penalty goals for Keith Jarrett in his first international. Wales lead by 9 points to 3. Taken by Barton. Then goes Lloyd. Lloyd's working. This is Denzel Williams over the English 25. Picked up by Brian Price. Mainwaring goes in. Out to Hosen, and Hosen's in trouble, and it's a try for Dave Morris. Great try for Dave Morris of Meath, and only his second international puts Wales ahead by 12 points to 3 near half-time. And there's Dave Morris up terribly quickly to score. And it's Keith Jarrett with a conversion. No bother about that one. And Wales lead by 14 points to 3. They're now into injury time at half-time. Stuart Watkins preparing to throw. Welsh forwards look at Gareth Edwards to get the signal. Rogers, Pickering. That's into the gap. Now watch the bounce here. Taken by Raybold just outside his own 25, held by Danny Herden. A good loose heel. Pickering, Finland, McFadden. The kick meant for Webb, but Jarrett's across there. Ball dropping just a bit low. Webb ready to take a quick throw, but there's no English forward there. Yard out from the Welsh line. Taylor tries to farm for England. Pickering. And it's Webb who has it, trying to come round the open side, but running into half the Welsh back. And it's not going to come out of there. And little Pickering trying to shift Norman Gale, which takes a bit of doing because he's almost 15 stone. Because Gale was lying on the English side and was obviously going to prevent any English loose heel. Pickering, Finland on the dummy run. McFadden looking for inside support from his back row forwards. It's Pickering again. This is Danny Hearn. Savage was isolated. Pickering again. This is Savage. Oh, he took his eye off the ball. David Watkins leading the counter. Dewi Bev misses it. Up comes Edwards, boots on. Finland has it. Back to Hosen. Though Roger Hosen there had to look really nippy because Gareth Edwards followed up at electrifying pace, and it's a penalty to England. And the referee explaining to the Welshman what it was for. I'm not quite sure myself. Following the ball, we think perhaps it was for a late tackle. That's the score at the moment in injury time just before the interval, and Hosen's going to hope desperately that he can put this one over because his side certainly need this encouragement. It may come in and it's there. Hosen with a penalty makes a score at half-time. Wales 14, England 6.
Half-time then and Jarrett's first points for Wales. I remember the first time I played for Wales, it was against England in Llewellyn Street. We won 406-12. I remember we had 37 on our side and 5 on their side. It wasn't fair, but it's my ball.
So here we are, 10 yards outside the Welsh 25. Edwards has a look at David Watkins to see which side he's going, but he may not use him. It'll be interesting to see. Oh, but he's been penalised for not straight. And up trots Roger Hosen. It looks fairly straight and it's a beauty. And so Roger Hosen reduces the leeway for England. Wales 14, England 9. 5 minutes of the second half gone. There are the two hookers, Norman Gale on the left and Steve Richards. Too far for Price. Bob Taylor farms Pickering. Finland, McFadden. There's the cross kick, but Webb wasn't anticipating it, although he's getting up now as Stuart Watkins fumbles on his own 25. In goes Edwards. Almost tripped tackle, but a most courageous run by the little Welsh scrum half as he puts it inside to Norman Gale. His foot was in touch. That's the Welsh 25 line. Number 1, Phil Judd there, trying to get that bit extra from his forwards. Up goes Taylor, nicely palmed. The bounce beats Pickering, but it doesn't beat Dave Morris. Now it's John Lloyd. Lloyd out to Gerald Davis. Davis to Bev. Bev chased by Savage. Over the 10-yard line. Oh, and Gerald Davis is going to score. Nobody can catch him. A magnificent try for Wales. Gerald Davis, the scorer. Wales 17, England 9. About 7 minutes of the second half gone. Now let's see this kick by Jarrett, the Welsh fullback. There's the kick, it's over. Wales leading 19 points to 9. Edwards can't hold it. Pickering to McFadden. This is Danny Hearn. There's the overlap, and Savage is going to score. I don't think Jarrett can catch him. A great try for Savage. The sudden quick overlap. Wales 19, England 12. Now let's watch and see if Dave Rollitt goes for a pick up here, the big English number 8 forward, and see how Denzel Williams is trying to haul down his opposite number, Coleman, so that the English hooker can't get a real good sight of the ball. See the pulling down there. They say it's illegal, you know, but all the prop forwards do it, I'm afraid, especially in internationals. Oh, and it's a penalty against Wales. Now, it'll be interesting to know what that one was for. It's very difficult to tell. I think perhaps against Gale the hooker. But anyway, it's a great chance for Roger Hosen to narrow this leeway even further. This is the man who scored 34 of England's 58 points in 4 internationals before this match today. It's there, very low, but it's made it, and that puts England within striking distance, because Wales now lead by only 19 points to 15. Finland, McFadden, that's the long screw kick. Fred going back at halfway, this is Jarrett, and Jarrett can make a great name for himself because he's going to score a remarkable try. Wales 22, England 15, and my goodness, what a debut for this fellow. And I wouldn't be surprised if after all that he puts the kick over as well. It could be there, and it is there. Well, no wonder he's smiling. That's the 3rd time he's hit wood today. But it's Wales well in the saddle once again, leading by 24 points to 15. That almost looked like a strike against the head. But Pickering's got to do it again. And it's a heel against the head. Edwards to Bebb. Bebb has scored. Bebb has scored. Wales 27, England 15, with about 10 minutes of the match to go. He's just outside the 25. He's going to have to go back almost to the railings to get a reasonable run-up. It's another magnificent kick. He can't miss this, laddie. 17 points Keith Jarrett has scored from that Welsh total. On the English 25, Pickering harassed by Edwards. Morris to Taylor. Taylor to Gerald Davis. He's got tremendous space. He's going to make it. He's there. Wales 32, England 15, with about, I think, 6-7 minutes to go. Just outside the 25 and on the 5-yard line. And it's another one. Wales leading by 34 points to 15. There's Jarrett, who scored 19 by himself. And there's no hope, I don't think, of England making up 19 points in the time remaining. We're into injury time. This is Savage. Wonder if he'll throw to his Northampton colleague Bob Taylor at the tail. Yes, he has. Up goes Taylor, palms. This is Taylor again, busting through. Almost up to the Welsh 25, tackled by Raybould. Rollitt going on, but Jones has it for Wales, starting the counter-attack. but it's a penalty against Billy Raybould, I think, for handling that ball, trying to push the ball away after a tackle before it had been released. Hosen then. It looks straight, it is straight, and Wales now lead by 34 points to 18 after we make it 43 minutes of the second half. 3 minutes into injury time. And it'll be Raybould once more to restart. And those fellas will certainly know they've been in a match. Hard ground, fast running. Koolman still, and John Lloyd trying to wrestle the ball clear. It's Rollitt out to Pickering. Pickering has Savage outside him. That high kick has David Watt and Rogers both up there inside the Welsh 25. Finland kicks on. This is Jarrett, held by Rollitt, 2 yards out, and there's a great chance of a try for Barton. And I think Barton has scored his second try. What a great performance for a lock forward. Wales 34, England 21. Can you believe it? Roger Hosen then, who must be coming fairly near to Guy Comberabo's total for the Frenchman, and who scored so many points for France this season. But he sliced it, and so it's 34 points to 21. Wales have beaten England after one of the greatest international matches I can ever remember seeing.
And Jarrett scored that try just here. Remarkably, that was Wales' only win of the season, but it stopped England winning the Triple Crown. The next game as well was against England, 1970 at Twickenham. It's a game I shall never ever forget. Not so much for the game itself, but for the drama, this pure theatre that unfolded. Into the second half, England were leading 13 points to 3, when Gareth Edwards, the Welsh captain, something of a deity at the time, was injured and forced to leave the field. But onto the field came that little street fighter from my stag in the Llanvi Valley, Ray Chico Hopkins. And it was his presence on that day undoubtedly changed the whole course of the game.
Starmer Smith, Bucknell as a standoff. Half held by Edwards. This is Starmer Smith. Beautiful use of the narrow side. Shackleton. John Williams underneath. Novak is there. My goodness. That really must have shaken young Williams. Starmer Smith, Shackleton, Spencer, Bob Taylor. Out to Duckham. Duckham must score. Hiller then, a short stab. Delmy Thomas, Edwards, John. That's a useful one. It's the bounce here that's a trouble. Stuart Watkins going up on Hiller. Well, Wales couldn't be closer to the English line than this. Now let's watch and see if they knock it down for Stuart Watkins to score. No, to the back. It's a try. I thought for a moment he hadn't got it down, but it's Mervyn Davies who scored. Gareth Edwards with the conversion. Round the corner, pulling it across the face of the posts. On the Welsh 10-yard line. Again, Bucknell dealing with the ricochet. Barry John half held him. The pick up there by Davies and Larter, both with a hand in there. My goodness, Barry Llewellyn went into that scrimmage with a real thump. His scrummaging on the loose head is improving, there's no doubt about that. Penalty against Smith for not straight. Barry John. This is Bucknell. I love the way Bucknell commits the man to the tackle. My goodness, you've got to nail him to the ground. Shackleton. Is it Bob Taylor? There's a chance here. Duckham with Spencer outside him. Here's Spencer. There's a chance for the new wing Novak, and he's going to score. It looks good. Well, I suppose some would say that's why Bob Hiller is captain of England. That really was the most perfectly judged kick. And a vital one, because it puts England ahead by 10 points to 3 with about 14 minutes to go to half-time. Tony Bucknell, the big flank forward number 6 there, has done some wonderful work at taking the ball off the line out and committing the tackler, trying to form the Rucker Mall situation. Edwards in trouble from Taylor from the palm ball. Penalty. Offside, I think. The ball going forward from Edwards and being played by a Welshman. Out on the left-hand side there, Hiller. Again, almost a stab. England leading by 13 points to 3. Hiller's third successful kick of the match. Edwards, here's the search from Llewellyn. Tackled by Stevens, but there's a beautiful rock ball to Barry John. Stuart Watkins was in the line. Bullen missed the pickup. Welsh forwards got across the front there. Edwards, back goes Smith. Stuart Watkins tearing up, and it's a try for Barry John. About 10 yards outside the English 25, this. Smith. A wonderful run. Now he's got Hale inside him. This is Hale, and he's got pace. And Smith is there on the scissors. Bucknell was with them all the way. Bucknell, number 6, is in there. That's the Welsh 25. Taylor. Shackleton, there's an overlap here. Duckham. Spencer. Novak, can he get his second try? Spencer just hanging on. You'll have to wait. There was a quick throw in and it was taken by Peter Larter, but Spencer was hurt in the tackle. Spencer sitting in the beyond the legs of the scrummagers. And away up the field on the English 25, Gareth Edwards. Gareth Edwards, the Welsh captain, is lying right away up on the English 25. Gareth Edwards is lying there, having been left behind. And I don't think the referee, Mr. Johnson, knows. He knows now. Bob Taylor has told him. There's the Welsh captain. And the referee comes up to see as Gareth Edwards is making for the touchline. And it's a question now of whether the Welsh selectors decide to put on the substitute or hope that he recovers quickly enough. And so, onto the field comes Ray Hopkins of Maesteg for his first cap for Wales. Be a wonderfully popular cap, I'm quite sure. Ray Hopkins of Maesteg, who scored a try for Wales against Wellington during their New Zealand, Australia and Fiji tour last summer. Played in 3 matches of that tour, Hopkins, so he's very experienced indeed, only 22. But he played against Taranaki, Otago and Wellington, and that gives you experience. Throw in by Hale, palmed by Mervyn Davies, and little Hopkins in the game immediately. Bucknall on halfway. My goodness, it's good to see a big forward fighting to get through like that. Bucknall has had a splendid match. This is Barry John, tackled by Duckham. Booted on there by Dave Morris. Picked up by Dennis Hughes. Ray Hopkins, incidentally, is a very stocky little fellow, as you can see. He's over 12 stones, which is something for a scrum half. He tackles Starmer Smith, a pick up by Dennis Hughes, looking for Mervyn Davies. Again, it's Bucknall committing the tackler. This is Stuart Watkins. How could Shackleton get him? Stuart Watkins, tackled by Hale. Hiller boots over, it'll be off scrum 5 yards out. Well, there's a great chance here for Wales. Let's see if John Pullen and Keith Fairbrother can nick one for England. This is where Starmer Smith would like to have one against the head. Hopkins, the pick-up by Mervyn Davies, tackle by Starmer Smith. Taylor's in there as well. A feature of the play in the second half has been the fact that the Welsh forwards have been getting over the ball at the rucks and forming a platform for the forwards coming in behind. Great shouts of push and heave here. The big Welsh contingent looking for a pushover try, the type they got against Scotland. They're holding. This is Hopkins, gives it to John Williams, and it's a try. Magnificent demonstration of how to use a fullback in attack, and the same fellow trying to convert his own try. That's John Williams' first try for Wales in an international match, but he did score against Taranaki during the tour during the summer, and that's it, with this conversion to come. 12 minutes of the match to go, plus a bit of injury time. John Williams. Well, he's had rotten luck, really. That was another beautiful kick, and he meant it to sway in from the left-hand post, I'm sure, but the wind just didn't pick it this time. And so, England's lead cut to 13 points to 9. Barry John knocked over. This is Billy Rabel, tackled by Spencer. Great flank forward play by Wales. That was Dennis Hughes working it out. Here's Llewellyn, out to Stuart Watkins, tackled by Pullen and by Starmer Smith. We're almost into injury time. England leading 13 points to 9. Wales couldn't be closer to the English line. It could be a try for Hopkins. Well, his joy is shared by thousands of Welsh supporters. And everything now could depend on this goal kick, because it's 13 points to 12 for England. They're into extra time, and this is John Williams. Now, as I was saying, Williams has had bad luck with his kicks so far. He's hit most of them dead in the middle, but they've faded just slightly. John Williams then, and it's there! Bob Hiller in the English three-quarter line is poised, ready to come in at outside centre. Starmer, Smith, Shackleton, they've missed out Spencer. There's Hiller in the line. 10 yards outside the Welsh 25. Four minutes of additional time played. Wales 14, England 13. Jeff Young, one feels from the Welsh viewpoint, need only win this strike to his own put-in. Hopkins, back goes Novak. You're up to the English 25. There's Mr. Johnston, a substitute ref. Nicely back to Hopkins. Barry John, he'll try the drop goal, he must do. And it's over! Barry John's sixth drop goal for Wales puts them ahead by 17 points to 13. 5 minutes of injury time played.
In 1969, an English side led by Bud Rogers came to Cardiff with high hopes of lifting that elusive Triple Crown. Their hopes were dashed, however, by the towering presence of Llanelli's Delmy Thomas, the ghost-like running of a young Barry John, and 4 remarkable tries by Maurice Richards, who equalled the Welsh try-scoring record. It was Wales who won the Triple Crown.
Interesting move there. Hawson, the big hop forward, has gone right to the back. But Delmy Thomas got in front. Barry John. Bob Hiller. They reckon that eventually they're going to do away with the mark in rugby union football, but I think some fullbacks will regret that fact if it ever comes about. Hiller with the highest today, going to land just on the Welsh 25. Jeff Young misses it. Bud Rogers is up. Tackles Stuart Watkins. Barry John in trouble from Bob Taylor. Down goes Rowlett, but the Englishman stood and looked instead of rocking through. That was far too loose by the English back to be really effective. And Barry John has been judged offside as that scrummage turned. The offside line, of course, for those fellows is the rear feet of the scrummage. And here's Bob Hiller with as simple a kick as there can possibly be in an international match. And so Bob Hiller puts England ahead by 3 points to 0. 24 minutes of the first half gone. Barry John restarts. Up goes Horton, taken by Laughter. Wintle to Finland. In comes Stuart Watkins. Oh, beautiful bit of work. Now who's he got with him? Barry John following up, and Denzel Williams. Back goes Plummer. That's Plummer, tackled by Stuart Watkins. He must release it. This is Barry John. It's a great stride for Richard. Wonderful try for Maurice Richards, his third try of the season. So that has set Welsh hearts smiling. There's Brian Thomas leading the Welsh pack. Thomas cut that one off, cleverly positioned at the front. Thomas to Edwards. Barry John. Hiller. Shot down by Dave Morris. Down goes
Duckham. Back goes Winkle. Dave Morris and Stuart Watkins both up there. And I think the penalty has been given against England for obstruction. If Jarrett can get this kick, it really would boost Welsh confidence tremendously. Referee blows his whistle for half-time. 3 points all. Everything to play for. That penalty goal by Bob Hiller and that wonderful breakaway try by Maurice Richards. But the odds very much, I think, in Wales' favour. The second half with the win behind them. Barry John. Barry John. Knocked down by Dave Rollett. And the penalty will be where the ball alighted. So Keith Jarrett puts Wales ahead by 6 points to 3. 4 minutes of the second half gone. Delmy Thomas beautifully palmed. Edwards John. The fullback was in the line. This is Dawes. Pass from Williams. Kick for Maurice Richards. This could be a score for Richards, but Plummer gets back. Carried over his own line. Made dead. Scrum 5. This Welsh team absolutely rampant now. A penalty against John Pullen. There's the quick one. Edwards tackled by David Powell. But he hasn't taken it at the mark. This is the young fellow who, in this same match 2 years ago, scored 19 points himself against England. Jarrett then. Second penalty goal for Keith Jarrett then, and Wales go ahead by 9 points to 3 with about 12 minutes of the second half gone. Finland with England really up against it. Denzel Williams this time. Dave Morris plays scrum half. Goes past Winkle, tackled by Webb and by Powell. John Taylor. That's Jarrett. Into the space. Jarrett again. Almost up to the 25. Taken there by Barry John. Barry John, can he make it? Oh, what a try! And that was one of the great tries of this season by Barry John. And we're back to Keith Jarrett now. And so Jarrett's tally goes up to 8. Wales's tally goes up to 14 points to 3. Midway between halfway and the English 25. Delmy Thomas, see what a height he got there. Seemed to be lifted up a little bit. Barry John, Jarrett.
This is Williams, the fullback. After to Budge Rogers. Rogers tackled by Delmy Thomas. John Taylor feeds Edward. Barry John. Here he is like a will-o'-the-wisp. That's Spencer, the big 14.5-stone centre. Well tackled by Dave Morris. Wintle out to Rollitt. Wonderful play this. Finland. Rogers out to Plummer on the right wing. Tackled by John Taylor. 10 yards outside the English 25 as Delmy Thomas leads another foot rush. Well, I'll bet those fellas down there were glad to have that rest. There's John Taylor, number 7, London Welsh flanker, who's really come good this season. Again, England cleverly wheeling the scrummage. Thomas again. Edwards, look at that beautiful spin pass. Barry John hoists the Gary Owen. Miller waits. Tackled there by John Dawes. That's Mervyn Davis, the under-average London Welshman. Brian Thomas feeds. Barry John, John Dawes. It must be a try for Richard. And Richard scores his second try of the match. "17 points to 3 Wales lead. Finland restarts. Delmy Thomas, Mervyn Davies, Barry John. The discipline, the confidence, quite clear in this Welsh side. Right from the start of the match in a way, it was almost as if they were quite happy in the first half to play it carefully. And they really have opened up in this second. However, here are England on the counter through Bob Taylor from Finland's pass. Now, John Taylor, quite rightly penalised there. You would see him almost crawling through the ruck to put his body over the ball. Yes, you can't do that. In the ruck, you've got to try and get away. That looks good. And so Bob Hiller reduces the deficit to 17 points to 6. 10 yards outside the English 25 then. There's number 8 for Wales, big Mervyn Davies, who's been one of the big successes this season, come into the side virtually as an unknown. Has played in all 4 internationals. And Davis palms, helped by Taylor. Barry John, John Dawes. That's the kick through meant for Watkins. Delmy Thomas palmed. Barry John trying the drop goal, it could be there. That's Barry John's 4th drop goal for Wales in the internationals he's played for them. And it puts Wales ahead, 20 points to 6. Let's watch for this Welsh scrummage drive again. Good heel by England though. Finland, the dummy of the scissors by Spencer. Penalty for playing the ball after a tackle, I think, instead of releasing. Edwards, Jeff Young, Edwards. Terribly disheartening for any side 20 points to 6 down on the attack to suddenly, with one kick, be sent right back into their own 25. Delmy Thomas again. Beautiful long pass. John misses out Jarrett to Dawes. This is Williams, the fullback. He's got tackled by Duckham. Great smother tackle, but it's a try. Maurice Richards has scored his third try of the match. For Keith Jarrett, 5 tries for this season to Maurice Richards there, and Wales ahead by 25 points to 6. Finland with the kick-off. Jeff Young beats back to Mervyn Davies. Edwards, John in trouble. Budge Rogers goes down inside the Welsh 25. This is Finland. Hiller looking for support. Budge Rogers. Well tackled there by Stuart Watkins. Wintle out to Rod Webb. He's tackled by Denzel Williams. Finland thrown down by Stuart Watkins. Put it on by Jeff Young. A wonderful bit of covering there by Budge Rogers, who was in that move 3 times, playing a real captain's part. Delmy Thomas found. Edwards, Barry John, Jarrett. This is Richard. My goodness, Richard. Is he going to score his 4th try? And I don't remember in the post-war years a winger scoring 4 tries in an international match. Tremendous ovation for Maurice Richards, the Cardiff wing. Back to Keith Jarrett for the conversion. Incredible burst of scoring by Wales in the second half. Two minutes into injury time. Wales 30, England 6. Penalty for foot up against Jeff Young. Wintle, Finland. Wales hadn't retired 10 yards after the run. Well, that one with absolute pinpoint accuracy. A beautiful kick. Bob Hiller's 3rd penalty goal of the match. 30 points to 9 Wales lead. We're well into injury time. There's Gareth Edwards, who must be very satisfied indeed as Welsh captain in place of the injured Brian Price, who have led a Welsh side who have gone so wonderfully well in this second half especially. Taken by John Taylor, but the referee has decided that it wasn't quite straight. The ball flighted at the end. Well, that looked like a good heel against the head for Jeff Young. It would have been his 3rd of the match. Winto, Finland. John Williams, the fullback, puts the ball into touch. The referee's whistle goes for no side. And Wales have won an extraordinary international, almost on a par with the match 2 years ago. Wales victors by 30 points to 9. Wales have won. And there's a very happy young man indeed, only 21, Gareth Edwards. One of the great successes of this international season, without a doubt.
Following the 1971 Grand Slam by Wales, England came to Cardiff in 1973 to face now a formidable and established Welsh side with that great back row of Mervyn Davies, John Taylor and Di Morris. And with Phil Bennett playing his first full season at outside half for Wales, straight from the outside half factory.
The stage is set then. Monsieur Georges Domergue, the French referee, is about to ask England if they are all set. Monsieur Domergue, who's had charge of 2 big internationals this season already. And it's Phil Bennett starting the game for Wales. Peter Larter catches. Webster back quickly to Cowman. And Dick Cowman slicing his first kick just a little bit. That's John Webster, this perky little English scrum half. John Bevan to throw. Found by Quinnell. Edwards to Bennett. Bennett hoisting it high. It's perhaps not far enough forward. And it's a penalty for offside, being in front of the kicker. And England given the option of the scrimmage or the penalty at the place of infringement. Doble with the penalty. A good lot of shouting from the crowd there, but in fact he got the ball into touch, which was his main target. Quite a stiffish breeze out there, not easy for kickers. The ball eventually will become quite heavy. Gerald Davis throws, Quinnell palms, Mervyn Davis goes down, it's booted through by Ripley. Phil Bennett, David Duckham. Duckham to Doble. Doble trying to run past John Taylor. Out to Priest. John Williams just outside his own 25. Williams tackled by Ralston, number 5. Dave Morris playing scrum half. Along the line to Bevan. Arthur Lewis kicks for Gerald Davis. Gerald Davis, excellent control. Into the English 25. Doble save. Gerald Davis throws. Ralston palms. His forwards clean it up. It's Frank Cotton who has it. That's a bad ball for Webster. John Taylor boots on. Doble. Gerald Davis. John Williams back into his own 25. Good switch to Gerald Davis. He's got Roy Bergier outside him. Great tackle there by Priest and Gerald Davis. What a chance for Ripley. He's almost up to the Welsh 25. Cotton, the prop forward, takes it on. It's Cowman and eventually John Bevan, number 11, who clears for Wales. They'll probably have to come away back to the right because England fullback Sam Doble has been hurt. John Pullen to throw in. 10 yards from the Welsh line. Tapped down to Peter Larter. Given to the other big lock. Cotton had it, then Ralston was there as well. Cowman with the drop goal. Well, that was sharp and nippy. And Dick Cowman puts England ahead by 3 points to 0. Jeff Young, the Welsh hooker, policing the 5 yards area, releasing Gerald Davis into a defensive position. Pull-in throws. John Taylor. It's John Lloyd to Quinnell. Quinnell almost there. Again back to Edwards. Bergier to John Bevan. Can Bevan score his 4th international try? Yes, he can. That's the English 25 right in front of the English post. Good one against the head by Young to Bennett. Bennett on the loop. There's an extra man here. John Williams inside to Bevan. Bevan throwing it slightly forward perhaps. John Williams was out there. He was in that move twice. Another brief stoppage. So Peter Warfield leaves the field. England are reduced for the moment to 14 men. They put David Duckham into left centre and brought John Watkins, the flank forward, onto the wing. Edwards to Bennett. The little kick through. There could be a score here for points to 3 to Wales. 8 minutes to go. Phil Bennett with the conversion. And Gerald Davis has gone ahead of his colleague and friend Gareth Edwards. That's his 11th championship try. They were level at 10 each today. Jeff Evans of Coventry and Warwickshire. And another fellow I can tell you with real pace. He can move, this chap. He's been playing very well for Coventry lately. On the right there for England is Frank Cotton, who played in that great North West Counties win against the All Blacks, and Peter Larter just behind him. Quinnell, Edwards, Bennett, Arthur Lewis couldn't pick it up, kicked through by Cowman. John Williams, held by Ripley, just outside the Welsh 25. This is Ripley surging on. Good bit of robbing there by number 1 Glyn Shaw, but it's a penalty, I think, for offside. Referee waiting for advantage. With 5 minutes to go to the interval, Sam Doble has this great chance of cutting the leeway. This remarkable Moseley and Staffordshire fullback, record point scorer last year, something like 581 points. But this is as crucial a kick as he's ever had. Doble. Sam Doble will be delighted about that, because remember, he missed 4 against the All Blacks. That cuts the Welsh lead to 8 points to 6. We've got about 4 minutes to go to half-time, plus, of course, the extra for injuries. Phil Bennett restarts. Morris driving over the English 25. Mervyn Davies. It's John Lloyd. Lloyd thundering on. It's a try for Edwards. John Williams there. No, he got his head up a bit, I think. But that really was a crushing blow by Wales. They've scored 3 tries to none now, and their new skipper here, Arthur Lewis, must be very happy with this situation. Wales ahead by 12 points to 6. John Cullen to throw. Neary and Ripley. Ralston couldn't quite control it, but he did well to retrieve it. Big handling in the ruck. Phil Bennett. That's a bad slice. Cowman throws it back to Doble inside his own 25. Referee's whistle goes for half-time. And Wales in the lead by 12 points to 6. Not only in the lead, but with considerable satisfaction from the fact that they've scored 3 tries to none. England, however, fighting back, and clearly this game isn't over by any means. Cullen throws. Ripley going through on the Welsh side. Dave Morris smuggling, gives it to John Lloyd. John Taylor, number 7, in there as well. And Glyn Shaw. It's a penalty to Wales for offside as their forwards held that ball. And a tremendous cheer for John Taylor as he comes up to take this penalty attempt. This is from our camera at the River Taff end of the ground. John Taylor, who will go down in history not only as a great flank forward, but as the man, of course, who kicked that remarkable conversion that beat Scotland at Murrayfield a couple of seasons ago. Taylor then. That really is a killing goal from England's point of view, because it stretches Wales to a lead of 15 points to 6. They're midway between the Welsh 25 and halfway. It's a penalty for dipping too low, I think, against... I'm not so sure that it was against Jeff Young. The referee may have pointed to John Lloyd, difficult to tell, but anyway, it was for going down too low. Sam Doble with this penalty attempt. Sam Doble, the man who scored 14 of England's 18 points in that great test win in South Africa. Doble then, low, but straight enough. That must be encouraging to England. They're back within striking distance. 15 points to 9. Wales lead. 16 minutes of the second half gone. John Bevan throws. Frank Cotton takes. Webster to Cowman. To Evans, trying to step inside Bergier. Evans up to halfway, gives it to Watkins. Once again, Wales have won more ball. This is Edwards. Morris to John Lloyd, beautifully out to Jeff Young. This is great play. Bennett with the famous sidestep. Bergier, back to Bennett. Arthur Lewis, over the English 10-yards line. Gerald Davis. Davis, knocked into touch by Sam Doble. Of the match to go, Wales leading by 15 points to 9. John Pullen about to throw. John Pullen kicking up to Gerald Davis. Referee deciding that he'd nudged the ball forward. I wonder if Wales will go for an 8-man shove here, or whether... I think they were driving Webster in trouble from Gareth Edwards. John Lloyd. Beautifully out from Gerald Davis to Bennett to Lewis. Bergier, John Williams in the line. This is Williams over the 25. Williams gives it to Arthur Lewis. Wales rampant at this stage. Derek Quinnell, number 5, vainly trying to clear that pair of English legs which seem to be blocking the ball. Last man up there, Gareth Edwards. Says that the English front row must have their feet in play, but my goodness, they're pretty near to their own goal line. Edwards, the switch play to Arthur Lewis. Oh, what a moment for the Welsh captain. Edwards, the feint pass to Bennett, and Lewis, who's 13 and a half stones. Unstoppable from that distance. What a moment for the Welsh captain for the first time, and still calling for more. Wales 19-9 ahead. We're into injury time at the end of the match. Contested by Phil Bennett. 21 points to 9, Wales lead. We've played a minute of injury time. And the whole of Wales will be absolutely delighted that once more they're on the championship road. On the Welsh 25. Oh, what a drive by Wales. He completely controlled that scrummage. Dave Morris. Sam Doble. Phil Bennett. Bennett has John Williams. Bergier. John Bevan. Well tackled by Morley. John Williams still. Held there by Stack Stevens. John Taylor. Derek Quinnell. Quinnell over halfway. What a great sight to see a big 16.5 stone forward charging on. Edwards to Bennett. They missed out Bergier to Lewis. Gerald Davis gives it to Lewis. Here's the switch coming. Phil Bennett again. John Williams. Gareth Edwards. There's a chance here for Bevan. Bevan must score. Bennett then pushed out, but from the Welsh point of view, it really doesn't matter. We've actually played, believe it or not, 5.5 minutes of injury time. Noble to restart. Taken by Mervyn Davis. Beautifully fed out there from John Lloyd. Gareth Edwards. The referee's whistle goes for no side. And Wales have won, without a doubt, another famous victory.
After that record win, Wales went on to win the Grand Slam in 76 and 78, and then 4 successive Triple Crowns. The 4th one was won here in Cardiff in 1979, which saw the legendary Welsh fullback J.P. Williams win his 54th cap. The game resulted in the biggest points win of England since way back in 1905.
Bill Beaumont, the man who knows that England are so near to a championship. Fenwick starts the game. And I wouldn't be surprised if Wales had planned that ploy, because Peter Squires knocked the ball on, and already in the first seconds, England are under pressure. Ringer for Wales, number 6. Terry Holmes is big, powerful scrum half and gets such a clean strike from Alan Phillips, the new hooker, that the ball goes straight into touch. So Peter Wheeler to throw, realising nowadays how crucial it is that throwing in is accurate. Big onus on hookers. Wheeler again, trying to hold it back. Roberts got it. Phillips eventually out to Davis. Fenwick on the dummy run. Out to Richards. Richards kicks on for Eldon Rees. Dave Richards of Swansea. Long to Davis, the switch to J.P.R. Williams. 5 metres out from England's line. Ringer number 6. Now it's along the line to Fenwick. Fenwick finding Ringer. Ball had gone forward. That was Slemon putting it into touch and goal. But it'll still be a scrummage close to England's line. And it'll be interesting to see what the Welsh scrummage tries to do here. Will they go for an 8-man, or will they turn it? Or will they not getting a chance to do anything? They're dropping it down. Graham Price, I think, penalised for taking the scrummage down, and it's a penalty. Bennett. So Neil Bennett, who played a very sound, steady game against the Frenchman, and of course plays for London Welsh. Wales through again very quickly. penalty there, I think, for handling in that ruck. And JPR, not surprisingly, calls up Steve Fenwick. Well, now this is an interesting moment for Steve Fenwick. Firstly, because it's a long kick. Secondly, it's from probably the wrong side for him, a right foot kicker. But also perhaps because he realises, as do so many others, that he just needs 3 points to set a new record of point scoring in any one championship. The record is 38, and he needs this to have 39. Fenwick then, but underneath it, it's not far enough. Cardos waited for it. And again, another unforced error. And England in dire straits here. Good strike by Alan Phillips. Good control there by the Welsh forwards. They laid it back beautifully, the drop goal by Davies. The referee's hand is up, and Wales are 3 points up. (3-0) Wales lead, 12.5 minutes of the first half gone. Number 4, Alan Martin for Wales, and he certainly had a very good performance against England on 2 occasions in the past. But there, the breakaway man, this is Rafter. Rafter, half tackled by Richards. Kingston, Bennett. There's a lot of space there, JPR having to come across. Got a nasty little bounce there, trying to throw it back to JJ. Ringer was there to help. Wheeler is up number 2 for England. Cardos there as well. That's the Welsh goal line. And JPR compensates for that pass back that went to nobody. Quick throw into the tail. Ringer had it. That's Cardos. And it's a penalty. And it's going to be a real chance here for Neil Bennett. Obstruction at the tail of the line out when England took the quick throw in. So well within Neil Bennett's range here. And the atmospheric conditions quite good for kicking. Bennett then, he's hooked it. JPR touches down. And that's the kind of chance you can't afford to miss in a match of this tension and excitement. So neither side here able to string it all together. Obviously the nerves and the excitement proving too much at the moment. Rafter beaten by it, Ringer isn't. Ringer looking for support, gets it from Cornell. Cornell charging up to halfway, caught there by Cardos. Laid back beautifully there, Holmes, Davies. That's a probing, searching kick. And that's all Hignell could do. Richards and Elgin Rees both up on Alistair Hignell. Jeff Squire, number 7, has gone to the tail, so this could well be a throw to the back. No, it was a decoy move, but Squire certainly got the ball there from Martin. Holmes waiting, in goes Ringer to help. Now it's Holmes to Davies, along the line, Richards to JPR William. JPR out to Dave Richards, and Richards is going to score. A brilliant try. So Dave Richards scores his first try for Wales. England realising that they've got to step up the forward effort to get back into it. Bennett restarts. Penalty for maybe locking off on the wrong side. But this is an exciting and somewhat anxious moment here for Neil Bennett, because he realises that a goal kick here to cut the deficit would certainly give England a much-needed boost. Bennett then, has he stroked it over? Yes, he has. Again ladled back nicely there, and Ringer has broken. Holmes strong as a bullock. Oh, what a run this is by the Welsh scrum-halves, getting it out there to Dave Richards. And it wasn't a rebound, it was a knock-on. Dave Richards might well have had his second try, but it's still taken Wales as close as that. However, the scrummage has been taken down again, and Mr. Bunny had better be careful pushing Graham Price away like that. And clearly somebody said something out of turn again, and so England get 10 metres relief. Bennett finds his touch, and there's 1 minute to go to the break. Into Welsh territory. Welsh forwards protected it well. Holmes, Davis along the line to Richards. That again is into space. Up comes Hignall. Hignall making a kind of cricketer's catch. Tony Neary was down there. There was a dangerous English boot there that the referee may have seen. Paul Ringer, the unfortunate Welshman on the bottom there. But in any case, it certainly is a penalty to Wales. And this could well be the last kick of the half. Oh, and he really is having one of those days, pushing it out. Hignall touches down. The referee's whistle goes for half-time, and Wales arrive at half-time with a lead of 7 points to 3. That could well have been an awful lot bigger. Derek Quinnell, Holmes, Davies. That's Hignall. Now Hignall has Squires outside him, but he went for the kick ahead. That was J.J. Williams. The referee hasn't given a knock on because he was, in a sense, charging down the kick. This is dodge. Right up to JPR. JPR switches to Davies. Too far. Phillips throws. Bowman round on that side. Referee not satisfied with the throw. So we're 10 minutes into the second half, and Wales still leading by 7 points to 3. This is on the Welsh 22. Drive and the turn. John Scott trying to rescue it, and he did it well. He gave it to Neary. Neary and Rafter in now. The English breakaways working there. Now it's back to Kingston. Bennett, they've missed out dodge, given it to Cardus. Cardus out to Hignall. Hignall to Sleman. Sleman caught by Rees, gives it to Hignall. And dodge number 12 there had come round on the outside on the loop to try and make the extra man. The whole thing floating just a bit too far across field. Horton again. Pierce the prop. Wheeler number 2 trying to rip it out for England. Jeff Squire number 7 and Gary Pearce unable to get that ball back on England's side. Scott again. Kingston in trouble from Ringer. See the forwards driving up the side to
try to build a platform for release. After, this is Cardus. Cardus, the big centre from Yorkshire, the man who made the try against the Frenchman. JPR Williams, caught there by Cardus. The kick on there by Bennett, and the kick into touch by Rees. Well, that big round Hayes centre, Cardus certainly made a lot of ground there out of nowhere. Jerry Lewis once again, as he always does, standing, and this is a worry for Wales. JPR going off. Derek Quinnell, who is the pack leader, will probably take over as skipper. And there's the captain deciding what's going to happen until he gets himself doctored up. You can see the cut there at the bottom of the calf. Looks quite a deep one, and so may require a stitch. And wouldn't this be a tragedy for JPR Williams in his last international if he was to leave the field and not be able to come on again? What an ovation, listen to this. So a crucial moment for the Welshman, down to 14. Bill Beaumont gets it in front of the Welsh posts. Kingston gives it out to Bennett. Bennett, not sure. Cardus bullocking on. Now it's Paul Dodge. Dodge 5 metres short. Laid back there to Kingston, to Slemon. Slemon gives it to Smart. Smart to John Scott. Now it's out to Bennett from Kingston. Dodge along the line there to Hignell. Hignell hands off his man and he's knocked down by Ringer and by Fenwick. Penalty for not releasing. And that's the score. But I make it almost 18 minutes of the second half gone. Davies, as the Coral Legions try to encourage their team, short-handed as they are. Steve Fenwick at the moment playing at fullback for Wales, and Ringer on the left wing. Down to 7 forwards. Now it's to Holmes, out to Davies. Along the line there, J.J. Williams in the line. Richard, this is Fenwick. Hignell waits. And so it looks as if Clive Griffiths of Llanelli may be coming on, and indeed it is. And everybody at Stradey will be overjoyed that Clive Griffiths here gets his first cap. We're into the last quarter of the match, 20 minutes to go. Wales 7-3 ahead as Squire drives through, caught by Scott. 2 of the St Luke's College men there. Now it's Holmes, Davies. Davies probing again for space with a tremendous kick. Oh, what a kick! The whole National Stadium has suddenly just come alive. The tension you could cut with a knife as Wales are perched on the England goal line. Wheelers throw, Horton palms, the Welshmen go through. They've called for the try and they've been given it. It's a drive-over, push-over try. And it's the big man, Mike Roberts of London Welsh, who got the score. 18 minutes to go. Now can Bill Beaumont lift the England side to heights unsurpassed? Bennett restarts, Squire waits. Again back from Holmes to Davis. Hasn't found touch. Hignell. Hignell puts it up and runs them all onside. Holmes waits. Free kick for the mark. A little bit of style about that kick as well. Terry Holmes, and who followed Gareth Edwards and Brynmore Williams.
in the Cardiff side and now in the Welsh side. Wheeler using John Scott at the tail. Bill Bowman got it second time. Kingston to Bennett. Bennett had to change his mind there. It is J.J. Williams, past Squires. J.J. over the 22, inside to Fenwick. There must be a try here for Ringer. Ringer's going to score. John Scott rescued it, but again there was someone going through, and there may have been barging as well. Now then, England, the first, I think, tap penalty of the match, and how welcome it is. Wheeler to his scrum half Kingston. Now it's Cardus, all just a little bit slow. Now it's Steve Fenwick. Fenwick. J.J. Williams is tearing up after it. That's the England 22. Neil Bennett goes back. And Fenwick, kind of man for all seasons, has pushed Wales once more back up onto the England 22 line. Alan Phillips, the one new cap at the beginning of this match. Of course, Clive Griffiths has become another one. Again, the Welsh forwards waxing strong as Graham Price goes up in the loose. Squire, number 7, drives in. And you could hear the disappointment round the crowd here as the referee gave the boot into England. I think, again, a case where Wales might have been justified in thinking that they were going forward. And the Welsh scrummage has turned England successfully today. Derek Quinnell, number 8 there, this favourite son of Straddy Park, who leading the Welsh back again. And Wales still 15 metres out from the English line. Now it's Holmes, Davies, they've missed out Fenwick. Along the line there to Elgin Rees. On the 22, Fenwick once again, the switch there to Dave Richards. Richards with J.J. Williams outside him, over the 22, J.J. Williams, and he's going to score! No bother! Alan Martin of Aberystwyth. Boom. Which probably goes to show that Wales may have been using the wrong fellas during the whole game. 21 points to 3. Isn't it great for a lock forward to kick a goal like that? And the Welsh in almost total command for the last 10 to 15 minutes. I tell you, there are fellas all over the place in that line-out. There must have been about 4 or 5 fellas offside in that line-out, and the French referee, Monsieur Bonny, has decided Wales were the biggest transgressors. Kingston Wheeler, that's Bill Bowman. Bowman, caught there by Martin, but lays it back. Kingston, Bennett, Cardus, Dodge, tackled by Fenwick. Ringer goes down. Referee had decided the Welsh backs had encroached within the area, and Wheeler takes it, gives it to Rafter. Wheeler again. Kingston out to Cardus. Cardus to Hignell. Hignell to Squires. Squires going for the corner flag. Has he made it? He knocked over the touching goal, and his foot was in touch anyway. His foot was in touch just before he hit the flag. Otherwise, it would probably have been a dropout. Phillips to Davies, that was adventurous. Perhaps too adventurous as Richards is in trouble. And it'll be... Well, Clive Griffiths got the touchdown, and it's a dropout. And that's my Lord Quinnell about to try the drop kick restart. Gives it instead to Fenwick. And my goodness, up comes Elgin Rees.
Hicknall back. Slemon feeds it on to Kingston. Squires chased by Jeff Squire. And Squire still wriggling on up to halfway. Kingston again. Bennett dodges a big space here. And he went the wrong way. That was John Scott who knocked on. Well, that was probably the best chance the England midfield have had of prizing open a gap. We're into injury time at the end of the match, and Wales 18 points clear at 21-3. It's the Welsh 10 metres line. And that Welsh scrummage, which has hardly budged today, no problems whatever in holding their own ball. Except for one against the head. Davis out to Griffiths. Griffiths off the Nethley. Now can he get the catch? Can Elgin Rees get there? It would be a remarkable try, and he's made it! Elgin Rees off Neath, the scorer. The crowd are invading the pitch. J.J. Williams asks them to get off. There's still some play to go. Fenwick, has he equalled the record? Yes, he has. The referee's whistle goes for the end of the match, and everybody absolutely going 40 here. You can see that remarkable scene down there. I think the players will be only too relieved to get themselves off the field and away from the crowd.
Sadly, that was virtually the end of the second golden era of Welsh rugby, a time when so many of us were both proud and privileged to be able to say that we were there. Thanks, lads.